So firstly, I want to introduce myself. Konstantin, I just working for a city for almost 5 years in a mobile foundational team, and I doing lots of different stuff from CI to UI, I think. And CDA team is quite big one, and we have about 70 developers for each platform, for Android, for iOS, and we're using monorepo, and we have lots of pull requests every day, maybe about 120 pull requests every day. And each pull request going through the CI pipeline processes, and it's taken lots of CI time to compile the application, to run unit tests, all the link checks, UI tests, and every time when you run something on CI, it's always related for money because you're paying for agents. Agent can be in a cloud or set up on premise. And it's very important to provide a proper tooling for developers to improve the experience. And as I remember, I already saw a couple of you in a previous my presentation about how to write UI tests. And today we will talk about how to run UI tests in a scalable environment. So let's begin. Let's highlight the problem, what we want to solve first. And just abstract case. Let's start with the question. Someone of you using UI tests on your projects? And yeah, just okay. And how many UI tests you have? Just just 50, 10, or 50,000? Okay. You?
For us, it's like
200. Okay. In our case, we have 1,200 UI tests, and it's really important to run it as quickly as we can and provide the best experience for engineers. And this one is a simple storyline of any UI test in any project. First of all, your QA is coming to you and asking to replace manual test scenarios with a real instrumentation implementation. And you go on with this for some time, and after some time, you're reaching some, here's a 100 UI test in your project, and you're still able to execute it locally because it will take about, I don't know, up to 10 minutes. It's fine. And you're going to be okay with it. But then you can see that some UI tests failing for some reason. And that's the point where the flakiness coming in. And then as well, you decided to move local runs for UI tests or for API checks to CI. And then it's still okay because your every pull request, what you're creating for your project, still taking not much time, maybe 5 minutes, maybe up to half an hour is okay. But still then you have some problem because you still have a 10% of tests was failing from time to time. And here is a problem. We want to define why, because flakiness actually is coming with different shapes and types. And for example, it can be emulator connectivity issues with the hardware, because it's really important on which hardware you're running UI test. It can be Intel or ARM-based agents. And for example, on ARM-based UI test on Android will be executed 30% faster. It's really important. And on slow devices, it can fail because of just devices hardware. Connectivity issues, for example, it can be network connectivity or just connectivity with a real device when it's connected by USB. Maybe something can be something happen with this connection. As well, most of important and frequent issues of flakiness is inconsistent responses from real server. When your application calling a real server, you can replace it with more, and it will help for some time. and as well side effects and tests. Because when you run your tests, it's executed in single batch, and that means every pull request was executed in a sequence will have a state for application from a previous UI test. And you can create a side effect. And if you will change the order of execution, the results can be different. And many, many others, just one of the examples. And let's back to storyline. Teams growing, you have already 20 developers for each platform and about 1,000 UI tests. Now, here's the biggest problem. For example, let's define that every test have a success rate with a 99.8%, and you can calculate the success rate for 1,000. Actually, 99.8 is quite good numbers for success rate. And that means if you will execute 1,000 UI tests with the success rate, only 13% of run will succeed. And as well, you're running on CI, and developers start to complain about time, how long it takes for execution. If you're creating your pull request that it's taken 20 minutes to compile applications and an hour to execute it on CI, it's very inconvenient, and developers can complain about it. And here's a point when you need to find a solution for it. Actually, in my point of view, you have three options. First one is a delegated to cloud solution. It's quite easy, just to pay for some third-party companies, and they will do all the work for you and just return the results. And second option is run on your own machines. On your own CI, for example, you can configure agents, what's connected to GitHub Actions or to TeamCity with a proper environment, and what contain emulators, all tooling was required for execution, and you can run it on a pen. And third option is that the board thinks what you can do. You just cut some of your UI tests. For example, run some of them just nightly, some or pull requests or pull releases. Because if you have a high amount of pull requests every day, then master or main branch can fail on night. And that's a problem, because then developers need to create a new pull request or to fix it on a master or active branch. And then it's happened again and again. So this one is the worst way, what you can do. In general, yeah, just two main options: run in the cloud or create your own environment. And let's see pros and cons for both of them. If you run in the cloud, it's quite easy to set up. You can just upload APK, just wait for 10 minutes for how long it will take, and you will receive the results quite easy. Can be scaled, yes, as well. Lots of cloud solution providing for you the way to scale it, to add a new emulator to it, and you can reduce the time for a total execution. As well, all maintenance will be delegated to third-party company. And as well, the same platform, same cloud provider can do UI tests for Android, for iOS, for Flutter as well. But disadvantages, cloud, it's a flexibility. For example, if you have a very specific non-standard implementation waiting for UI tests, it can be unsupported, or you will pay too much. In our experience, when we used to work for Agada, for example, we paid a lot of money for daily UI tests. Run the clouds. Yeah, it's a few common, very popular solution that you can take a look. Firebase, I think most of the Flutter developers, Android, iOS knows about it. App Center from Microsoft. It also can be used, but as I know, it will be decommissioned in half a year, in the beginning of next February. Perfecto, and one of the interesting ones is a Marathon Cloud. Let's back to second option, to run UI test on your own agents. It can be very flexible. It's most of the advantage. You can create any environment what you want and run them, and it can be